owning your timing in life and taking your time. That is powerful, and that is very powerful. Um, so I grew up with a fear of the explosion, the snap, from impatience, the impatience snap. That is what I would call it. But the impatience snap is something that will then it will take over your tempo. It will take over your, if you have that issue. For me, it happens happens. I'm still healing this, but it happens in the end of me, like the end of something, when something is finalizing. And there's an impatience, there's an impatience drop, or yeah, it's a snap. And that makes me go into, like, leave the moment and leave my timing and actually go into rushing, because I don't want them to snap and start hating on me and yelling me and wanting to kill me. So instead of having that, I up my tempo and I start rushing myself and being ahead of myself, which is, it just fucks up everything in my end of it all, you know. So so we need to be brave to have our end control, our full time. Yeah, there's a difference between the two timings of of the snap timing. That is like a rigidity. It's rigid. It's rigid in the nervous system because there's a kind of a shock. So there is no stretchability, there's no flexibility, and there's no internal space. That's actually it. Like, there's no internal space, there is only the external. And when that snaps, everything, you know, it's, yeah. So it's not that it's a problem that it snaps. Well, it can be, but the problem is that it takes it out on somebody on the outside, and that's where fear can, you know, control it. So if you don't want to dance with that fear of snap and let that affect you, you got to be brave and have yourself. Have yourself first and foremost. Have yourself, and own your pace. Own your tempo. Own your breath. Yeah, really own your breath, actually. And be the pioneer when it comes to what Rolex time is, like what the quality time is, expensive time where there is time for reviewing, reframing, or refining, and actually finishing with deliberacy, and finishing with respect, and finishing with consideration of everything that goes into it and what is not going into it, you know. Time to sort it out and create the closure that needs to be needs to happen, where you get the result that you actually want from it, because you take the time to be deliberate about it, and you don't accidentally forget something outside of it, or you don't accidentally run over something in the process. You don't mess it up because you're in a rush, because you're in fear of getting attacked. And this is the way for me. For me, that's really the way of living a great, powerful life, because it's allowing yourself. It's allowing myself when I do it. It's allowing the self. And it's allowing acknowledgement of the moment and everything that is around you in that moment, and in you, within you in that moment. And the thing that you're finishing, that it's about that thing in that moment. It's about that, and you have time to acknowledge and actually experience it. And when you're in a rush and in fear, you don't experience that much, You're just go into survival mode, and you go into mode, and then just it's about going through it, and we just got to get through it, and then out on the other side, and then you think, oh, okay, that's that happened, I guess. But now we're on to the next thing, and then you think all is well, but really you missed out on the moment, and you just ran it over. So it's important that we dare to own the time that is the present moment and fully experience it, and be brave enough to not fear other people's impatience snaps.